Today's topic is characteristics of sound. The characteristics of sound are pitch, loudness and quality. First, we will discuss about pitch. Pitch is the characteristic of sound by which we can distinguish a shrill means high sound from a grave means low sound, even though the two sounds have the same loudness. The pitch of a sound depends upon the frequency of vibrations. The pitch of the sound produced by an object vibrating with a low frequency is low, and the sound is called a grave sound. The pitch of the sound produced by an object vibrating with a high frequency is high, and the sound is called a shrill sound. For example, first is the wings of the bee and mosquito vibrate with the high frequency. Hence, the sound produced by them is shrill and high pitched. Second is when the skin of a tabla or the strings of a guitar are tightened, they give out a sound of higher pitch. Third is in a flute, sound is produced by the vibrating column of air. The frequency of vibration is changed by closing the holes of a flute that changes the length of the column of air. Loudness. Loudness is a characteristic of a sound by which a loud sound can be distinguished from a faint sound, even though both have the same pitch. It is measured by amplitude of vibrations of the sound source. It has been found that loudness of sound is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude of the vibration producing the sound. When we strike a drum softly, its skin vibrates with the smaller amplitude and a soft sound is produced. When we strike the same drum harder, its skin vibrates with the great amplitude and a louder sound is produced. There are other factors also that affect the loudness of sound, like surface area of the vibrating object, distance from the vibrating object, density of the medium, etc. The loudness of sound is measured in a unit called decibel. Now let us see the different loudness levels. Loudness level is equivalent to 10 decibels in rustling of leaves, which is very faint. When we whisper, it is equal to 20 decibels. The loudness level here is also faint. A normal conversation is 40 to 60 decibels. Here loudness is moderate. And the loud music is equal to 90 decibels. Here loudness is very loud. Quality is the characteristic of a sound that enables us to distinguish between two sounds of the same pitch and loudness produced by two different sources. It depends upon the waveform of the sound. Quality of a sound is called its tone, which helps us to identify sound of different voices. Some vibrating objects produce sound of a single frequency, for example, a tuning fork. Some vibrating objects do not produce a sound of single frequency. They produce sound of other frequencies simultaneously. For example, guitar and sitar. They produce the sound of a single frequency called the basic or fundamental frequency. Along with it, they produce a mixture of sounds of other frequencies called harmonics. The harmonics give richness to the sound. Different instruments, depending on their shapes and size, produce different number of harmonics of different relative loudness.